Hey, what's up everybody? Will Mosby here, back with yet another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this very cool lending library house. Let's go. Alright, as usual, I got a little context before we get into the actual build, but if you want to jump ahead, there's some chapters down there, jump to it. I had this homeowners association, this little tiny neighborhood over in Waxhaw. They contacted me and said, would you mind building a couple of lending library houses? And I said, sure, why not? I've never done that. So I, of course, went to Pinterest for some inspiration and found a few different designs that I kind of liked, and this is what I came up with. My design is that I didn't copy anybody else's, this is my design. But we're able to hold several books in there for each side of the neighborhood. So one of these is going to be on one side of the neighborhood and one is going to be on the other side in a common area where you can go kind of walk your dog and horse around and play around. Are there horses? I don't think so. You know, I just decided to do this thing in white and black, kind of like the shed that I built in my own backyard. Just kind of like that style and design, and it came out pretty good. I ended up going with a felt underlayment for the roof, and cedar shakers, because I did that on my tiny house, and that worked out really well. So I decided to do cedar shakers here, and it just gives it like a really cool look. There you go. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then I siliconed the whole thing across the top and put like a little wood cap piece on top, and weather coated that one as well. So we should be pretty weatherproof. Of course, exterior paint. And I had to add like a little bitty awning on the front, because when this thing, right now I don't have the latch on here, but whenever the latch is, it'll shut all the way tight, and water should run off the front and come down and hopefully out. We don't want any of the books on the inside getting wet. And that's just a floating shelf. I didn't actually tack it down, just a floating shelf, and that should work out too. All right, so without any further ado, let's jump into the build. Here we go. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just cut out the walls and the roof of the lending library. I'm just using a circular saw to do this, and I'm taking it over to the table saw and squaring everything up. And there's our front, back, and two sides. Now I'm just going to mark where the opening is on the front of the lending library house, which the door will end up covering in the long run, but we're just going to make our little square here and cut it out. And now that I have the opening marked, I'm going to go and drill out all four corners of the box that I just marked, and take the jigsaw and cut that out. Once that piece is cut out, now we can take the side piece and put it up against the front using some clamps and some L brackets, hold it in place, and brad nail it together. Then we're going to repeat that process on the left side. And then once you have the left and the right sides put on, you can slap a little glue on the end and attach the rear of the lending library house. How many times am I going to say lending library house? And when you're done nailing, you should have something that looks like this. So now I'm just going to install a bracket that's going to hold the floating shelf for the books. So we're going to have books on the top and the bottom, so 2 rows of books. And I'll build the shelf later. I'm not worried about it right now. But now we're going to build the roof of our little lending library house. So I'm just going to cut 2 pieces that are almost the same size. They're off by about a 1/2 inch because one's going to overlap the other at the top. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. And what I'm doing right now is making a mark so I know where to nail. And I was pretty lucky. I didn't have a single miss. And here I'm pointing out that this side is actually going to overlap the other side. And so this piece had to be cut a 1/2 inch longer than its opposing side. All right, so now that we have the lending library basic structure built, we're going to come back through and it's time to do our painting. So I painted the front and the fascia piece right there, just that little fascia trim, that's just black. And we're going to leave the sides alone because we're going to be doing kind of the shingles, which is what those pieces are. So I went ahead and painted those white. And we're going to have black corner trim. That's what these pieces are over here. So everything's drying right now. And the back side. So I painted the back side as well. That's white. And the fascia trim on the back side is black. So now it's just a waiting game. We'll let this dry and then we can start cutting our pieces and putting it all together. So before putting on the cedar shaker shingles, say that 3 times fast, I put on a little roof felt. And of course, it's fiberglass, folks. That's going to get in your hand if you're gloveless, like an idiot, like I was. But I got smart, and I didn't put the brake on the table, and it almost fell over. So I put the roof felt on, tap it all down, make it all nice and flat, trim it up, and now we're ready to start applying some cedar shaker shingles. That is hard to say. But first, we are going to apply our corner trim pieces. And I'm showing you that the top part needs to have that angle right there. So just set your miter saw at 45 degrees because that's what the roof pitch was, 45-degree angle. And voila, you have some trim pieces. And this is the other side. So the one we were just working on, that was the right side. So this is going to be along the wall side underneath the overhang. And that's what it looks like. So basically you're going to do that 3 more times and you'll cover all 4 corners. This is where I'm going to be putting on the siding. And the siding is just 1/8 inch by 4 inch little project boards. And I'm just going to use 1/2 inch brad nails to attach all of the 1/8 inch thick siding. And I chose to shingle the siding so it overlaps the one below it just by a little bit, and I take a mark and mark where that is. And so I'm going to use my combination square to set the height of the next piece above it. And once I have all the siding pieces on, I'm just going to come back and lightly dab over the top of each of those nail holes a little bit of pink spackle. And don't worry, I will sand it down later. So now comes the fun task of putting on the cedar shingles. And I've cut each shingle to about the same size. And the key to this is to be about as random as possible. So they kind of vary in length coming off of the front, and they kind of vary in width. So each cedar shingle is not the exact same width or length. And so I'm just kind of trying to be as random and overlapping from the next row below it as possible. That way your eye doesn't catch anything, if you know what I mean. And here's a good view of what it would look like, or should look like, after you get the cedar shingles on. And you can see how random they are, or at least tried to be. And for the ridge cap, I'm just using 1/4 inch by 2 inch project boards, and we're just going to stain those with some Thompson's Harvest Gold water seal. Next, I'm going to apply a little bead of silicone on both sides of our lending library house, the roof, and make sure you get the seam up at the top. We don't want any water getting in there, so we're going to really use quite a bit of silicone and then apply the two pieces, and then we're just going to use our brad nailer and nail them in, and then come back with a final bead of silicone right at the seam of those two pieces. So now we're on to making the front door of our lending library, and we have to route out a groove for the plexiglass window to sit in. And I just used a 1/2 inch router bit on my router table, and there you go. You can have a good view of what that looks like. So we're going to have 4 pieces that we're going to use as our left, right, top, and bottom. And now I'm just going to dry fit the plexiglass in there. Be sure to take off the protective covering. Apply some silicone to that groove because it's not going to be seen. You want to use a little bit, but not too much. You won't have too much on there. You don't want it to bleed over. And just gently place that in, and then set that aside for, maybe a couple hours. And here's a good view of what that should look like. So now I'm going to be ripping down a 1x4 trim board, and we're going to do that to basically 4 pieces. And that's going to be our face frame, almost like you're making a cabinet door. It's basically the same concept. I'm going to make a face frame for the front, and then the plexiglass window is going to sit inside of that. So I'm marking exactly where all those, basically it's like a 1x3.5. Might be actually less than that, I don't remember the exact measurement, but you can see I'm going to line it up with that edge, and then the top and bottom pieces are going to go in between the two. And that's what it looks like dry fit. So now I'm going to come back, and just like I do cabinet doors, we're going to do pocket holes on the back side and snug everything up. So now that the face frame is made, I can take the plexiglass window and secure it to the face frame. And I'm just going to use wood glue around the edge, then we're going to flip it over and attach it just like that. Then come back, just some little cheap insurance with a brad nailer, just a few screws just to hold it in place. But that glue will work just fine. And now we can start putting on the hinges. And I just randomly picked a spot about 2 inches from each end. And you definitely want to pre-drill here. You do not want to try to screw those little tiny screws in, and definitely do this by hand. Don't try to use the drill. You don't need to. You'll just strip it out. So just go nice and easy and don't over tighten. Next, I'm going to just set it in place using a little board that I made at the bottom just to hold it into the position that I wanted it to. And then I just marked my spots. I'm going to pre-drill those holes, and again come back and just use a screwdriver and don't over tighten. Then the last thing to make is our little awning. So I just cut a little angle. I think that's at a, I don't know, 30-degree angle. I'm really not sure what angle that is, I'm sorry, but just enough to give us a little awning. Just to secure it with brad nails, come back and seal the top of it and caulk the little brad nail holes, and we are done. All right, so once you have the little makeshift awning piece on and caulked and sealed, we are essentially done. The last thing to put on is a little latch that'll hold the door completely shut tight. And we'll keep all of the moisture and water out of it. Hopefully you found this video helpful and you can go out and build your own lending library. But before you go, if you found value in this content, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are into this DIY kind of stuff. We'll see you in the next video. And here's a picture of both of the lending library houses in their respective spots in that neighborhood. And here's a little video showing what it looks like. I did just recently chat with one of the members of the HOA, and they said the houses have been working great and everyone has been exchanging and sharing books.